Hello, my name is Chris Barlow and I'm a partner with MHA. I'm joined today by one of my fellow MHA colleagues, Ginni Cooper, and we're going to talk about the budget from a manufacturing company's point of view. Ginni, I think it was fair to say that there wasn't a lot in it for our manufacturing clients to address the challenges that they already have within their businesses.
Yeah, I think I'd agree, Chris. I mean, talking to our manufacturing clients, the issues that they've been facing over recent times have been effectively increases in costs. So increases in raw material prices, wages costs, energy, transport and freight. So yeah, I don't think the budget did a great deal other than probably increase some of those costs that I've mentioned, just to give us something else to budget for next April.
I think that's right, and that's very much the picture I'm hearing as well from our manufacturing clients. I mean, there was a little in the budget, I suppose, to help them in the line of extending R&D tax relief to pick up a couple of costs there, a little bit possibly promised in terms of rates reform in years to come, and possibly ways of looking at further relief in terms of the extension of the annual investment allowance. But I don't think that our manufacturers are going to make their decisions based upon those, really, are they?
No, I wouldn't have thought so. And like you say, with the the annual investment allowance, I'm not sure that will necessarily change someone's investment plans, as they were the day before budget. I think it is welcome, because I mean, obviously we do have the super deduction at the moment, so you would have had that that relief anyway. But it may change a decision if someone's looking at maybe, I don't know, second-hand plant and machinery rather than new. So it might help in that respect. But I mean, I think the real question is what's going to happen post March 23, isn't it? When these reliefs come to an end, we end up back down at an annual investment allowance of 200k. In addition to increased corporation tax rates. I think that's where we're going to see the big changes, isn't it? And that's what we've got to get ready for. Absolutely,
yeah. And in the meantime, also we got, as you mentioned earlier, we got increases in costs to minimum wage, living wage, and that's all going to be passed on. Going to have to be passed on, I think, by our manufacturing clients to their customers, isn't it? You mentioned earlier the various challenges which the manufacturing companies are feeling at the moment. What else do you think the Chancellor could have done to help in that regard? Is there anything that your clients are saying to you that really would have helped if he had done X?
I think picking up on you mentioned about the R&D tax credit, and they've increased the scope of what qualifies. So we've now brought in cloud data costs. I think more could probably have been done. We're constantly talking about more automation in the sector and robotics, and I think a kind of a longer list of qualifying, specific qualifying costs along those lines would probably have helped, because I think it would just incentivize a bit of investment, and that therefore it should then increase productivity.
I think you're right, yeah. I think it will also help on that skills side as well, won't it? If they can go down that line of further investment into robotics, as you say, or into other high-level technology, it's not necessarily going to lose jobs from the sector. It's going to help by getting those people trained up to a higher level and helping efficiencies, and therefore possibly attacking two of the issues within there. So I think, yeah, I'd agree with you. I think there is more he can do within that R&D scope, really, isn't there?
Yeah. And I think as well, one thing that stood out, you think about where we're at, what's in the news at the moment, and climate change, etc. There didn't seem to be a great deal around investment in green technology, and I think there was a little bit on rates relief on investment in green plant and machinery, but other than that, it was a little bit quiet on that front, I thought.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of phrases that the Chancellor keeps using: levelled up economy and the green agenda, which I'm not sure I know exactly what it means, let alone talking to my clients exactly what that means. And I think the problem that creates is because they don't know what they're aiming towards, they can't plan towards it either. So I think a little bit more clarity is what we need to see from the Chancellor in that regard, really. So I think, Ginni, as we started with, really, there's not a huge amount in there for our manufacturing businesses. A little bit of incentive in certain areas, but nothing that I think is groundbreaking at the current stage, really. But what I'd say to all of our clients and to anybody watching is thank you very much for your time, but also there is more expert analysis and more expert commentary on the MHA Hub. Thank you.
Thank you.